Shalom Mishpacha, welcome back fam. As January settles in with quietude, we reflect and look back on a wonderful and special Hanukkah season. We hosted every single night, crazy I know, but I did get the opportunity to do a lot of tablescaping. And so here you see our New Year's Eve setup, because New Year's Eve coincided with Hanukkah this year. And these are a fried treat from my country of origin, which works great for Hanukkah as well. These apple fritters were delicious. And we had pumpkin squash soup with coconut milk and cheeses and other delights. The candles are lit and we sit down to a loaf of freshly homemade crusty bread and ready to tuck in. Here we are popping some bubbly to ring in 2025, and the next day I still got to enjoy these apple fritters with a cup of tea and a lit candle. Hanukkah coincided with winter break and my sabbatical, so my kids got tons of quality time, which is so lovely for them, and we played a bunch of board games and tabletop games. And here we are playing the game of life, and let's sneak in some dreidel, because why not? As you can see, I have a bunch of babies. Here are my decorations again that brought us so much cheer this year. My daughter really loved all the houses and she wants a Hanukkah village, so we'll see what next year brings. Get ready to look down and see the heap of presents for my kids, my husband and our dear friends, ready for the last night of Hanukkah, which is our big blowout night. This is kind of a tradition I appropriated from my own culture. I know a lot of American families do the big blowout gifts on the first night, but I like building that anticipation to the last night, and it keeps the kids more focused on the smaller gifts for the other 7 days. Here is our last tablescape: lox, cheese, pickles, olives, soup, and all the rest of it. My friend who came to dine with us brought black-eyed peas, which were delicious, and here we are saying the blessings one final time for so many menorahs. It's a fire hazard each year, but thank God, we do okay. I always kind of wished the candles burned longer than the mere halachic requirement of a minimum of 30 minutes. And that is why I like having this big target menorah that I talked about previous years with the kind of jumbo tea lights, because it burns all night for hours and hours. And as the other candles have died down, I still have something to feast my eyes on. But it is such a beautiful sight each year to see them all lit, and it really brings so much joy to the heart, especially deep, deep, deep into the solstice season like this. Time for supper, of course. It wouldn't be a Jewish celebration without lox, and my butternut squash soup was delicious again. Nothing wrong with making a big batch and using it across several nights. So we are going to eat, and then we are going to unwrap our presents. And as you can see, my children, not in full view of course, had a blast, and I was spoiled too. I got some tea and a frother and other lovely gifts, and my new expanded spode china. The next day we had sufganiyot, and we served them both for the party on the 8th day and the next day with breakfast, which is such a treat to have that final last day of Hanukkah breakfast. Time to unwind with a cup of tea and pastry cream filled sufganiyot, and then settle in for the night after a wonderful festive last night of Hanukkah. The next day we had some errands to run, and I really was hoping for a white Hanukkah this year because it is so late in the year, and I was kind of crushed that it didn't happen. But then, lo and behold, Nes Gadol Haya Po. A great miracle happened here because on the very last day of Hanukkah we got a bunch of snow, and it just added to the magic of the day where the kids were home playing with their new toys, and I started cleaning up a little and the snow was falling, and we finished off our last sufganiyot and put away these beautiful cups that my kids got that they can use for Shevat from our friends. And here are some cleaning hacks if you are still procrastinating on doing your menorahs. Girls had fun in the snow, and I'm going to box this up as part of my memories and put it in my little notebook so I have something to treasure this very special Hanukkah by. Before I get ready to clean, I need to fortify myself, of course, with a nice cup of English breakfast tea, a spot of milk, and a sufganiyot. And looking at my decorations one last time, made hot chocolate for the kids when they came back from snow play, and I'm ready to put things away now. Meanwhile, my other kid is practicing his cursive, and here is the cleaning part of the video. So the best way is just to snap off the really big chunks of wax from your menorah and pull out those extra bits, but don't sweat the small stuff because you're going to pop them in a very cool oven set at 170 or 200 degrees and melt off all that wax. Here I'm putting the tin foil away that served its purpose to keep our table clean, and remember to put down both some parchment paper or tin foil and the tissues before you melt off the wax because you don't want it to ruin your trays. Then after all the wax has come off, I can just pop out the remaining wax like that, and then the final step of the process is just to immerse the menorahs in hot water under a running tap and scrub them off with some soap and a sponge. Time to get into some healthier eating with a nice omelette, and I gaze upon winter beauty one final time, and I'm feeling just as mellow as this cat. Life is beautiful here in the Jewish Midwest. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful Hanukkah journey this year, and I look forward to cracking open a new topic for Shevat, so stay tuned for that. Shalom uvracha with peace and blessings. See you soon, friend.